What are some of the great things about living in Norfolk? And what are some of the things that are not so great about living in Norfolk? Let's talk about it. Okay, before we get started, let's make sure we're pronouncing this right. A lot of people that are moving to the area like to say Norfolk. That's kind of how it spells, but that's incorrect. If you're old school and you're from the area, you might say Norfolk. But because that kind of sounds like profanity, we say Norfolk. Now, if you're from up north, you may say Norfolk. We accept that. Okay, so Norfolk on the map is located right here. Now, it sits within the center of the south side of the Hampton Roads area, also known as the Tidewater area. This area consists of 7 cities, and it's really divided by north and south. So on the south side of Hampton Roads, obviously we have Norfolk here that we're gonna be talking about in this video, but we also have Virginia Beach, we also have Chesapeake, and we have Suffolk right here. Now, Suffolk is actually the biggest city in the whole state of Virginia as far as land mass goes. It's a lot of farmland, and you have the Great Dismal Swamp National Wildlife Area. Not very populated. Now, up here in the northern part of Suffolk, it is much more developed and everything. And if I zoom in here, there's also one more city, which is Portsmouth, which is just right across the water from Norfolk. Okay, now this is the south side of Hampton Roads. Now, if you go through either this tunnel right here, the Monitor Merrimack, or you can go over through Carrollton and you can actually take this tunnel here. Or up through Norfolk, if you take the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, this is the worst tunnel for traffic ever. But if you are living in Norfolk, it actually sometimes is the logical way to get to the north side. If you work up here on the north side, I would not recommend living in Norfolk. That's probably a bad idea because of the traffic from this tunnel, and every time there's a wreck, oh man, it can cost you an extra hour or two. So on the north side here, we have Hampton and we have Newport News. A few other areas I'll mention that are not necessarily part of Hampton Roads, but we consider it, is we have Poquoson over here, which is basically a big flood zone, but it's a pretty cool area. We have Seaford. We also have Williamsburg just up here as well. Now let's talk about the pros and the cons. Elijah, what should we talk about first, the pros or the cons? Okay, we're gonna talk about the pros. The first pro is the vibrant arts and culture. This is unique to the Hampton Roads area. One of the most popular cities to live in would be Virginia Beach, but outside of the beach culture, you don't get what you get in Norfolk. Norfolk has art locations that display both local and international art. If you're into art, check out the Chrysler Museum. The city is also home to a lot of performing arts. If you're into that, check out the Virginia Opera, the Virginia Symphony Orchestra, and the Virginia Stage Company. The Harrison Opera House and the Chrysler Hall are both very popular for theatrical productions and operas, ballets, and concerts. Also at the Scope, that's actually where I saw that play called The Cats, or Cats. It was weird, but I enjoyed it. Elijah just heard me say cats, and now he's wanting my attention. Come here, buddy. Oh, there's no cats around here, okay? This is Elijah. He is a golden retriever mixed with a poodle. He is super skinny right now because he's a puppy. He's 9 months old. And also, his hair got a little matted, and for the first time, we had to shave him. If you watch some of my previous videos though, you could see how fluffy he once was not long ago. All right, buddy, let me get back to this video. Norfolk also has different cultural festivals and events that are celebrating arts. Norfolk Harbor Fest, Norfolk NATO Festival, and the Virginia Arts Festival are just a few examples of some of these events that feature live music, dance performances, art exhibitions, and even culinary experiences. You'll also find a lot of different public art throughout the downtown area, like mermaid statues and just different things like that. So if you're into arts and culture, Norfolk is the city for you. There's nothing like it in Hampton Roads. The closest thing would be up in Richmond. Another pro about living in Norfolk is the housing prices. This is something I know something about because I'm a real estate agent. I've been serving this area for almost 10 years now. As you can see here, the median sales price right now, as of February 2024, in Norfolk is $299,000. Obviously, this is subject to change depending on when you're watching this video. If you want some updated current information, feel free to reach out to me. Now, if we compare Norfolk to the entire south side of Hampton Roads, you could see the median sales price on average on the whole south side is $329,000, which is significantly more. Now, the most desirable city, most popular city in this area is going to be Virginia Beach. The median sales price in Virginia Beach is $350,000. So Norfolk is clearly more affordable than these other cities. When you look at Norfolk, you'll notice that there is only 1.7 months of inventory, and this is pretty standard across the board right now in our Hampton Roads area. And what that means is if we didn't list any new properties right now, we stopped listing properties, in 1.7 months from now, we would sell out of all of our inventory. That is not a very balanced market. That's actually a seller's market. We need about 4 to 6 months of inventory before it's more balanced between buyers and sellers. So what that means is we do see multiple offers in a lot of competitive situations. The median days on market right now is 19 days. As you can see, on average, it's selling for 99.5% of the list price. It obviously depends though. And when the house is in really good condition, renovated, updated, and all that, and it's in a good area, it's going to sell for way over the list price, and it's going to have several offers. What balances that percentage out is the older neighborhoods and the older homes that are more outdated. You know, those ones that have the wallpaper and old purple carpet and they smell like mothballs. You know, grandma's house. Those ones actually take a lot longer to sell, and sometimes we can even negotiate those down and even get the seller to pay the buyer's closing costs. There's this one here that you can get. That's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom with 1,520 square feet. This house is new construction, built in 2023. And this is $284,000. It's been on the market for 109 days, probably because it hasn't been fully built. That's pretty common. This might even not be the actual model. This is probably an idea of what it's going to look like once it's finished being built. So you can get new construction for under $300,000 that has all the shiny bells and whistles inside. If I was shopping in Norfolk on a median sales price budget, I would probably stick to the northern part. Is probably where I would focus. I think a lot of areas over here in the East Ocean View, throughout Ocean View area and the Bayview area up here can be good investments because they can also make good rental properties later on. You just got to look at the crime maps, but because it's so close to the ocean and because it's so close to the Navy base and so close to Little Creek, location matters more than all the bells and whistles inside of a house. If you have a higher budget and maybe you want a larger home, here's a few other options I'll show you that you can get right now in Norfolk for your money. This one is listed at $1.4 million and it's been on the market for 17 days, but it doesn't mean there's not wiggle room to negotiate. Never know. So this is a 6-bedroom, 4.5 bath, and it's just over 5,300 square feet. This is in the Larchmont neighborhood. This is a very desirable neighborhood. I love this neighborhood. It's just a cool feel when you go through the neighborhood. It's older, but the homes are so custom and unique. Okay, let's say you see the crown dental molding around the top. Probably would have painted it white, but hey, whatever. Big kitchen. Again, it's not as updated as you think it would be for 1.4 million, but it probably would be listed a little higher if it was fully updated. But one thing I'll point out is these skylights here are pretty cool. Let me show you the best part of this house when we get to the, well, that's a very blue library. When we get to the backyard, I think that's the selling point of this home. And all these windows is just amazing. Oh, that wallpaper though. Come on, look at that. Okay, all right, I ain't mad at it. You can see here the view you can get from your bedroom window is pretty cool. Let's get to the back. Okay, here we go. So look at that swimming pool. Imagine floating around in that pool as you look out across the river. What a cool location for a house. You can't beat that. It also has its own pier and you can have a boat, get a boat lift. Lots of options. Beautiful. Okay, couple other pros I want to point out real quick before we move on is this is a very diverse city. If you're looking for diversity and different types of people, different walks of life, different types of cultures, Norfolk is a good city for you. Lastly, beaches. So on the northern part of Norfolk, there are a couple beaches that I will highlight to you here real quick. So depending on what part of Norfolk you're in, you're not going to be far from the Virginia Beach oceanfront. If you just hop on 264 and head east, you're gonna, fly right over here to the ocean, and that's a beautiful, very desirable area, especially for tourists. It's very popular. But in the Norfolk area itself, on the northern side of Norfolk, you'll see this is actually the bay. This is the Chesapeake Bay that connects with the ocean. There are some beaches up here that are pretty cool. So we have the Ocean View Beach Park. We have the actual Ocean View Beach itself. And then on the Little Creek base, they have their own beach. Just east up here, there is the Chesapeake Beach and the Chicks Beach area. This is actually Virginia Beach. but very close to Norfolk. I'll give you a quick little preview of the Ocean View Beach. We can take a look. This is what it looks like. It's beautiful. Oh yeah, that's nice. It has this long pier on this. There's like a restaurant out here. It's pretty cool. I have not been there, but I want to. It looks cool. So yeah, pretty cool beach. Fun place to take the dog. Oh, look at that. A con that has to be mentioned is flooding, and weather kind of ties into this. We are a coastal area, so we do experience some storms and some heavy rain at times, and the elevation is fairly low in many parts of Hampton Roads, specifically in Norfolk. There are 18,429 properties in Norfolk that have greater than a 26% chance of being severely affected by flooding over the next 30 years. This represents 85% of all properties in the city of Norfolk. As you can see on this map from riskfactor.com, the dark blue areas are not good. And you can see the city of Norfolk has a lot of dark blue. If you have more questions or you want more information about flooding and the different flood zones and what that means, check out the Norfolk City website, or you can go to FEMA's website and there'll be a lot of information there. Another con would be that the unemployment rate is relatively high. It's 7.3%, and the US average right now is at 6%. So it is a little higher than the national average. However, Norfolk has seen a market increase by 1.3% over the last year with future job growth. If school districts are important to you, I think greatschools.org does a pretty good job. When you look at reviews, make sure you pay attention to who's writing that review. Sometimes it's not the parents, it's the kids that are writing the reviews. If you have a dog and you're interested in boarding school, let me know. I have a referral for you. Elijah just graduated at the top of his class. There was only 4 other dogs, but he graduated at the top of his class, and I am so proud of him. He is learning so much, and he is so disciplined. So stay tuned for some more videos where I will highlight some of what Elijah has learned. And if you guys have any questions, you're moving to the area, or maybe you aren't sure if this is the right area for you, reach out to me. My cell phone number is right here. And also in the description, you will see a link where you can book me for a consultation, and we can maybe hop on a Zoom chat together or just hop on a call and talk through anything that you're thinking as far as moving to the area. And please tap that like button real quick and subscribe to this channel. It would mean a lot to me and to Elijah. And let me know if you have any questions.